you thinking of quitting your job? Wait. Before you put in that resignation, I'm going to share with you some 5 key steps or things that you need to do that will help ensure that you do not regret that decision. For what it's worth, if you are not aware, quitting is a key decision that can make and unmake it. In this video, I'm going to share my personal experience as someone who quit my job about a year ago to let you know what you need to do and the things I've learned along the way that regrets. Let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is to understand or have a firm grip on the reason why you're even quitting in the first place. It might sound so simple and basic, but trust me, a lot of times, some of the things that if you go deeper into the things or the reasons why you're quitting, those reasons might not be, I would say, tangible enough to quit. So what you want to do practically is to list all the reasons why you can stay and the reasons why you cannot stay. And if the reasons why you cannot stay outweighs the reasons why you can stay, then you have a confirmation that it's time to quit. I mean, for some of us who read a lot, and then you might have come across some motivational speeches and all those kind of quotes that really says, one example is like one that is attributed to Paul Harvey that says that, I'm going to paraphrase it, which talks about the fact that you shouldn't be either learning or earning in a job. Either of them is fine, both of them is the best, but neither of them means that it's time to quit. But before you do that, make sure you have a fair idea. Is it your boss? Because trust me, you have no idea where you're going. So when you're able to understand, okay, these are the reasons why I'm leaving because of colleagues, toxic environment, whatever, it gives you the opportunity for you to understand what you really want and what you don't want, so that if you find out yourself in a new place and you realize that, okay, these were the same reasons why I left my other place, then it's easy for you to know whether you're even at the right place or not. So the next important thing that you need to do is to make sure you put your finances together. I cannot overemphasize the need and the reason why you need to put it together, because you know the world is full of uncertainties and you have no idea what's going to happen. You know, the times that you're moving to a different job and the moment you quit, there's some delays, things happen. I mean, you don't really have a lot of fair idea of whatever is going to happen. But what you can do to help yourself is to make sure you save up at least for a minimum of 3 months. Well, it depends on even where you're going. It could be 6 months, 1 year. The more the better. Make sure you have some sort of buffer to help you, because I mean, I remember when I decided to even leave my job, I moved all the way from my job and from my country at the same time. So this was like a major leap for me. And when I entered the new country, it was all crazy because I didn't even envisage how tough or stressful, frustrating it will be. Even though I thought, okay, I needed some savings. So when we got into the country, we needed to do a few documentations. It took a while to do applications and all that. All these time, you need money to even sustain yourself, your rent, and other bills that come your way to help you sort of keep moving until you land your first job. So what you need to understand is that even if it's a new job you're going, that job can even go down the moment you join. I might have people who join a company and then a few weeks after joining, the company goes bust. That will be very devastating if you have got no savings or nothing to fall on. So that's why it's important that make sure you save up, save more, and that becomes your buffer as you go through the transition period. Now, another important thing that you need to do is to make sure you research your next step. The next step in the sense that make sure wherever you're going, because you know there are reasons why you're leaving, so you want to understand whether or not those things are also prevailing at your new place. That is, if you're moving to a new job, even if it's a school or a different country that you're moving to, you need to understand what goes on at the new environment that you're going to find yourself, because that gives you what you need or gives you an idea of how you need to really be able to adapt, and so that you don't struggle. So what you can do practically is to talk to friends, talk to people who have already done it, talk to people who have already been through that same situation that you want to really put yourself in. That case, you get to learn from their mistakes so that you don't repeat it. So in my case, what I did was to try and talk to a friend who was already in the country that I was really moving to understand what goes on there. And that also helps me measure or sort of gauge your expectations so that you're not overly disappointed if things don't go the way you expected. So I mean, I think I have a friend who also moved to a different country and then things didn't work out the way they expected, but because they didn't really do a lot of research, they struggled and they had to even return back home. which was very devastating for him. So you don't want to put yourself in that situation. Make sure you do a lot of research, make sure you get as much as information possible, and then make sure that you have a fair idea of the whole thing or wherever you're going, so that you put yourself in a good situation. Another important step that you need to do, or thing that you need to do, is to make sure you tie up every loose ends where you're leaving. Look, you might think that, oh yeah, you're going to a different place, to hell, wherever I've been, but you don't want to ever leave on a bad note. So in my own case, when I decided to leave my company, I made sure that I handed over, I made sure that the transition process was quite smooth, seamless, and I made sure that I offered the help that I could whilst I was there. And that inured to my benefit, in the sense that all this while, when I was pursuing my professional qualification, I needed to also record what we call the practical experience, and I needed my former boss, to sign off my experience as having, or to sort of validate my experience. So you realize that if I had any issues with my boss, that would have been very difficult to go back to him, and that would have meant that all the years that I've worked would have gone to waste, because I needed to start everything afresh. That would have been very ridiculous. So at the end of the day, I go back to him, he signed off, and then I got my membership. That is to tell you that, look, no matter how bad the situation is, make sure you don't leave on a bad note. Make sure you're leaving knowing that at least, if for nothing at all, you will be able to come back. Because as people may say, the world is very, very small. So the final thing I want to leave you with is, make sure you learn before you move, or try and then sort of upskill, add value to yourself. If you're going to a new place, a new field, you should be able to understand what is required, because of course all of us want to progress in our career, in life. So you want to make sure that you understand, if it's a new job you're moving to, try and find out, do some digging. As we spoke about the research stage, I'll give you an idea, okay, what sort of certifications, qualifications, things that you need, the networking. If do you have to belong to a particular association? This one in particular is very important, because it's something that I've personally experienced with some of my colleagues who are still struggling to even get like a professional job, because where we find ourselves is a country where you need some sort of experience, certifications before you're even regarded in our particular field as an accountant. So it's very important that you understand, one, as you've done your research, two, make sure you allow time to upskill, start something, build up, and that can put you in a good position to be able to sort of give you a good start, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so you don't want to go there and then you're surprised that, okay, things are becoming difficult, you're unable to get a job, even though there's so many tons of job postings out there. You do not have the right qualifications, or some certifications are missing from your profile. So you just want to make sure that you put all these things together and sum up everything. You need to understand that, look, first of all, find a reason, make sure you have a tangible reason why you're leaving. Plan your finances, make sure everything is planned, research wherever you're going, tie up every loose ends, and on top of it all, you make sure you have some skills or value added to yourself before you jump out of that ship, or you take that faith or leap of faith. And if you found this video useful, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends and anyone who is also thinking of even quitting their jobs. Thank you for watching.